latecomers. There we go. All right, so there's a bit of time between the last day of class and the final exam, which makes our exam resources important and something that we want to pay a little bit of special attention to, right? Because, you know, it's meant a couple of weeks of break and end of the semester, and then suddenly we're back and things are getting started again. 17th of January, it actually is a little ways down the road, all right? So we need to take a look at that. Also, I just saw the timetable and updated the calendar, and somehow there has been a rather strange modification to the timetable, okay? But our plan A still holds, all right? The lecture session, you can see this in your Teams meetings thing, but somehow instead of lecture 2-hour session 8:30 to 10:30 on Thursday morning, that got changed to this session. So it jumped from last thing in the afternoon to early bird time, first thing in the morning. Don't ask me why. I have no control over timetables. But never mind. That's the timetable. I've got it set up that way. And the 2-hour session next week, all right, is not going to be a proper, if you like it that way, proper session like this. That's going to be time for you to get Safe Exam Browser installed and try out the quizzes, right? Because first, it's important to do a little final exam review. Second, it's important to show that you've got the software installed that's necessary for the exam. And so we can take care of both of those this way, right? Take care of both of those this way. So let's turn to Moodle for a minute and talk about this Safe Exam Browser thing and quick quizzes and the exam review materials. All right, to see what we have available to get prepared for the second part. I'm sorry, the last thing that is SNA for this semester. That's it. Put this down here so the team stops interfering with the user interface. All right. So here in general, let's see what we've got here. All right. Assignment details and submission links. All right. Again, just a quick reminder that the assignment due date is set. All right. You need to belong to a group to get credit for the assignment. I just sent another reminder to the handful of people who are not in a group. So if you're in a group, you're all set on that one. If you're not, you need to do something about it as quickly as possible. All right. And the other tab that is in scope now is this one, exam resources. We need to back this off a little bit. There we go. All right. So there's the date. Now, the exam will require using Safe Exam Browser. Let's start there. All right. Safe Exam Browser is just a special edition, I think we should say, of Firefox. All right. If you want to look it up on GitHub, you can find it very easily. All right. And what it does is it uses some operating system tricks to monopolize your screen. All right. Only Safe Exam Browser. Safe Exam Browser owns the whole space. You can't open new tabs. You can't copy paste. You can't use other apps because Safe Exam Browser owns your desktop. All right. And that's just a thing that, kind of like a regular exam, all right, where you don't have the whole internet to search around in, all right? And the plan was that this would be widely adopted. I don't know how widely adopted it is, but I've been using it for SNA and other classes for a year or so now, more than a year now, right? And it really works fine. There are just a couple of small things that we need to be aware of. So you go to the downloads page and download it, all right? And then you install it with the installer, just like any other app that you would download, all right? And then we've got two quick quizzes here that require SEB, just like the exam will, all right? So these mean that this quiz has been configured so that students may only attempt it using the Safe Exam Browser. You're going to see that same message for the final exam for this class, all right? Which means you need to get it downloaded and installed before exam day. All right? And that's why we've set aside that 2-hour session to get that done. But here, the SEB quick orientation. All right, hang on just 1 second. Let's see what didn't go in the chat here. Next, used to be Thursday. Now, Wednesday. I don't know. They changed it. All right, and that's what's in the next week's timetable on Wednesday. But that one's clearly labeled in the Teams thing here. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. We look at the team space here. All right. All right. This one is actually scheduled for Wednesday. I have no idea why, but there it is. All right. And that's the arrangement that we made this morning. No need to attend Wednesday, 15 December. All right. That applies to everyone. Okay. And that way, I know that you're ready for the exam, right? Which is really good. Yeah, no worries about the Wi-Fi. It's better that everybody is clear about how we're doing this and why. All right? It's an extra requirement. I give you some time to get it done, make the progress. Okay, things you need to know about SEB. All right. Now, when you go to the quiz, all right, it comes up with two buttons. I don't know why it does this, but it does. It says download configuration. That's a dead end. Always use Launch Safe Exam Browser. Okay, I can show you that what that looks like, but my interface is a little bit different, so I don't see that button automatically. But always use Launch, always ignore download configuration. Second thing, what? There is an issue with certificates. All right. Keep saying this is not a secure site. This is a problem with Moodle. All right. Moodle developers have promised this will be fixed in the next release, but that has not, APU has not followed through with that one yet. So when you see these warnings, just click through. All right, just click through on the warnings here, and you're fine. You'll be in, no problem. Well, actually, SEB always requires a new login. All right, because again, part of owning your desktop is that it cannot use cookies, all right, which is how you can get an automatic login at this screen. So, you know, just keep in mind that it takes this extra minute or so to get connected using SEB, right? And don't be late on exam day. Here's one thing that seems to get people a little confused, all right? SEB is part of owning your desktop, all right? Only allows one display. So if you have an external monitor connected to a laptop, for example, you need to pull that plug on the HDMI for SEB to run. Otherwise, it's going to complain. It can use the operating system and detect that there's something plugged into the HDMI port, and it stops and says only one display. So you got to pull the plug on any extra display. And that's really it. Yeah, my battery, I just turned it on, thanks. Okay. Last thing that you need to be aware of, all right, is this one. This should not happen, but it may. All right. And that's this message 502, bad gateway. This has nothing to do with your internet connection, your installation, nothing to do with anything that you did. It is a server-side problem. So all we can do is reload. Reload is usually enough. Okay, and again, as I say, this is something that we've encountered and fixed or found this is the workaround. All right. Bad gateway is something in the long cloud space between you at your computer and your ISP and the whole internet cloud that takes you to wherever APU Moodle is located in the internet cloud. All right, but it's a server-side thing. Just have to tolerate it. All right. If reload is not enough, you can exit SEB and return to the exam. All right. Again, requires a new login, but you do not lose your previous work. All right. State of your exam is saved, so it's horribly annoying, burns a little time out of your exam, but it's not fatal in any way, and it's not really serious. But, you know, if you get big problems with it, send a Teams message to me during the exam, and we'll see what we can do to sort it out. It's very rare. All right? I'm going to say it again. Bad gateway is very rare, but it does happen. All right? Nobody knows really why it happens, but it just may. And so you just want to be aware of it. You don't get nothing to panic about because it's very, very rare. Okay? All right, so that's really all you need to know about SEV, aside from don't wait until the exam starts to get it installed and get it tested. All right? Get it installed, get it tested before the 30th of December. All right? And that way you also get attendance for that lecture session. Okay. Now, what are the quick quizzes like? The quick quizzes are actually pretty straightforward. Right? Sometimes you might think they're a little bit too easy, but really, let's take this one, Linux OS. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, Moodle. There we go. All right. So if I can tag, mine says preview, yours will say take the quiz. All right. That's because I have a different role, different permissions. All right. But never mind. These are the open ones. Match the terms with their description. All right? All of the quick quizzes are kind of like this. I'm going to take this one, and then I'll take the next one, and then I'll take the third one, and then I'll take the fourth one, and then I'll take the fifth one, and check my answer. Oh, I did get one right, all right? But this seems really weird and too simple, all right? But just if you think about it a little bit, all right, then this is a really good way to remind yourself about, especially about these terms and definitions, all right? And so the correct answers are shown. So you can just start off by random if you like, just like I did, and check the correct answers, and then use this try another question like this one. And now you've got to start over again. And this really helps you. Really, you'd be surprised at how much this helps you get these answers correct. Layer 7 service, logical layer 2 device. Ooh, can't ever remember this one. I think it's tune at layer 2 and tap at layer 3. All right. Now, I'm just going to check this one again. All right. Otherwise, you use next page and your answers will get recorded. All right. You can check as many times as you like. Oh, I got them backwards, didn't I? Ouch. Okay. So now I can remember which one is which. And when I go back and do it again, I can get them all correct. And that's going to make it so easy for me to pass this quick quiz. All of the quick quizzes work that way. You can try each question as many times as you like, right? Because the idea is to help you get these things straight in your mind. Okay? They all work the same. They're a little bit different format in each one. All right? And the format of the exam is part multiple choice and part essay. Oops, wait a minute. This is where I want to be. All right. Hey. Oh, I didn't do that very nicely, did it? Let's see what happens there. Doesn't want to. Let's copy it again. No real need. To check PowerPoint unless you want to find something specific. Right? Format is MCQ plus essay. The quick quizzes give you a good idea about MCQ. All right. PDF for essay. All right. Because if we look down here a little bit farther, we find exam review questions and exam review answers. All right. And they're in separate files, again, just to encourage you to think a little bit about the answer before you look it up. I can't answer that question. All right, you do the math. It's 90 minutes. And so figure I'm saying how many minutes per question. All right, and work it out that way. Now, this box up here says exam question 1, 2, 3. All right, and this is what the formal statement was when we got this class approved by MQA, the external examiners. All right. So this was back when paper exams were the only thing that anybody was allowed to do, right, before our online exam time here. And so in that situation, if it was a paper exam, it would be called exam question 1, but there would be a 1A, 1B, 1C, like that. And this follows the same structure, except for the online exam, there's going to be something section 1, section 2, section 3. Each section covering specific types of topics. All right. Question 1, question 2, and question 3. All right. Section 1, section 2, section 3 in our online exam. Now, the quick quizzes are not really organized by this section 1, section 2, section 3, but the exam review PDFs are organized according to question 1, question 2, question 3, which will give you a very good idea, all right, of the topics that you'll see in each section. All right. So just briefly here, all right, 1 is going to be mostly about Linux operating system, all right, and the foundations that we need to be familiar with. All right. Exam question 2, it's about our configurations, system accounts, port numbers, DHCP protocol, DHCP servers, DNS CNAME records, the relationship. What can Dovecot and Squirrel Mail use the LDAP server for? All right. And then exam question 3. Oh, look at this. Security policy, acceptable use policy, security mechanisms, security procedures. All right. You saw that one just this morning. FCAPS, ISO, All right. Password, security, troubleshooting, configurations. All right. So there's the questions. And over here are the answers. All right. So think about the questions, and then you find the answers over here on the other side. Is that okay? Now, Schmidt, what are we talking about all day today? Recommendations for revision. We've been talking about that for half an hour already. Thank you for joining us. All right. So, we've got everything we need, all right, to get prepared for the exam. And again, the one thing that we need to do is get this safe exam browser up and running and tested. Is it safe to do the following? Hold on a minute. See if I can do this. What does this say? External display cache. Honestly, I don't know. All right. I have never tried that out. All right. All I know is that if you have an external display connected, Safe Exam Browser will detect it and refuse to start. All right. You want to experiment? being software security lecturer, all right, I get a software security professional attitude about things, and I just naturally assume that if something is available on GitHub, then there is a hacked version of it somewhere. So, but I don't want to know about it. Don't tell me about it. I'm blissful in my ignorance, but you know, just to say. 2 quizzes, just practice preparation for the exam, or marks on it. No, there's no marks for the practice quizzes, but all there is the attendance to show me that you're keeping up right on the ball here, and you've got things up and running. Okay, I don't know, all right, can't say what that problem is. Maybe Google up. Could be touchscreen. I have seen that only once before. All right, it was the touchscreen. It was some kind of extra facility for the video on this particular, I don't even remember what it was, but this particular model of a laptop. I can't say, you know what? Check your machine make and model and see what is happening. Check your Windows display settings, all right? Because it just means that SEB is talking to Windows, and Windows says there's more than one display available, And under those circumstances, SEB refuses to start. Okay, so that's pretty much what we needed to do here. Okay, and again, this is why, things like this is why you want to not leave this SEB thing until the last minute, right? But also got a little bit of flexibility about exactly when you need to get it taken care of, all right? And I don't know, what configuration questions meaning what? Just check, just work your way through the quick quizzes, all right? And there's no practical part of the exam. All right? The assignment for the practical part. Exam is for the theoretical part. Okay? Yeah, fine. But Alex, yeah, I know it's hard to guess what to expect on an exam, but when you work your way through what's here, all right, you'll have a very good idea of what the actual exam is going to work like.